What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Around the Skins podcast, episode 2, and it's draft day. Chase Young Bowl, basically. We're waiting on Chase Young, and I can't wait for the NFL draft. Starts tonight, 8 o'clock. It's going to be a fun time. Hopefully, I doubt we're going to get another first-round pick, but it's something to look forward to. Right when they call Chase Young's number, they say, with the second pick, the Washington Redskins select. I can't wait to hear Chase Young. If there's anything else than that, I'm going to be mad. Either that, or even if we trade, that'll be a bad deal. Chase Young, like I said, is going to be a generational talent, one of a kind. First glance was when he was younger, and he was just absolutely amazing. So that's something we got to look forward to, guys. Also, if you didn't know, I changed where the ads are going to be placed. It's more in the middle of the video, and if you guys can go check out my Twitter at twitter.com/aroundtheredskins, no spaces. The A is capitalized, and the T is capitalized, and then the R in skins, not Redskins, Around the Skins podcast on Twitter, and also youtube.com/aroundtheskins. So if you want to watch on YouTube, there's not really much that's different. It's just a different format for people who don't have podcasts. But enough of me talking, and let's get into some of the news. So, late last night, I was on my phone, and all of a sudden, I see a Instagram story of Trent Williams. So I click on it, and it was him with a couple emojis. It was the eyes emojis where they're like looking, and then like a emoji. I can't even speak. Emoji, where it was like the finger over the hand. And he was hyped. Not gonna lie, he was hyped. He was ready to get out of here after the horrible medical staff that caused this whole situation to get out of control. My prediction is probably gonna go to the Browns. I don't want to get OBJ. I don't like OBJ. He's personally, I just think he's a horrible player. Not as like a physical standpoint or like anything like that, but a horrible player in the locker room. He's gonna bring nothing to the young team besides swagger and like a bunch of. We're just gonna be worrying about him all the time. He's gonna be someone to worry about. The coaching staff has to give him attention, or he's gonna cry like normal, throw stuff. Just be like, look what he's doing with the Browns. Last year, that was probably one of his worst years. It's probably because he was crying over all his attention. He wasn't in the Big Apple anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want OBJ. Sorry, I'll talk about it a little bit later. But yeah, I just think OBJ is not a good fit. If we could get, I really highly doubt this, but we might be able to get a first round pick. The Browns have the 10th, I think, overall pick. The more and more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm saying we're never going to get that. So they're probably going to give us either. I think they have 2 first-round picks or a second and 2 thirds. So we could look for that. If we don't get that, then I don't know. We probably okay. So if the trade doesn't happen today, which it's either today or tomorrow. It definitely has to be tomorrow, because that's when the second round happens. Second and third round, I think. If that doesn't happen tomorrow, then it's gonna happen tomorrow. Just looking at the draft, like I said, we only have the number 2 pick in the first round, unless something changes by the time I upload this podcast. Excuse me. Yeah, so basically we just want Chase Young. If we do get a second round pick, personally, I'm looking at an offensive line. We need help on offensive line, especially if we trade Trent away. If we get a second round pick, you never know. Josh Jones could be there. Tonga Woa or something like that. It's this weird guy. He's a left tackle. A couple right tackles. I'm not sure their names right now, but they could be some good, valuable players. I was watching the 107.1 this morning. They had their mock draft. Personally, I think 107.1 is terrible. You guys should never listen to them. They're just a bunch of people that are forced to talk about Redskins, and some of them aren't even Redskins fans, guys. They're literally put on a show where you're Washington Redskins. That's sports media, and you're not even a Washington Redskins fan. So, yeah, the only people that I've ever heard of that actually have a good opinion, people on YouTube like Ed Oliver, Pedro Schmidt, um, and then just like JP Finley and just reliable sources. They just try to cause a lot of like commotion and try to make people mad. So I really watch them. But like I was saying, they were doing a draft this morning, and they traded Chase Young for the Dolphins' 18th and 27th, which was a terrible, no, 5th and 18th. Their 5th pick and I think they have an 18th pick. It was a terrible trade. So in that situation, if people are still thinking the Dolphins might trade, give us their 5th and 18th, the only way I might even consider, I'm not saying I will, but I might consider like slightly, is if they give us like all their first this year, their second round pick, their third round pick this year, and then another first next year. Like that's something like when I know Ron Rivera was talking about how we can't just gain we need impact players, not just a bunch of draft picks. But with those amount of picks, we could be able to fill out a lot of positions we need. Because right now we need a lot of positions, guys. So I just really hope we get something for Trent either today or tomorrow, because it will benefit us so much. Yeah, Ron Rivera. There's a couple mock drafts I also saw. People were saying earlier this week about Isaiah Simmons. I think honestly his draft stock fell. Because if you look at it, number 1, Bengals, Joe Burrow. Number 2, Chase Young. Number 3, probably Jeff Okudah, or they might trade out because there were reports of that. Number 4, the Giants. They might go as Isaiah Simmons, or they're going to go offensive line. Personally, I think they're going to go offensive line. They need to help Daniel Jones. He had 20-something fumbles last season. Daniel Penny's, my bad. Or Danny Fumbles, whatever you guys want to call him. He had 20-something fumbles last season, so they need protection in the line. And even that, the Dolphins and Chargers, they're going for a QB, so you might be able to see Isaiah Simmons fall all the way to 7th or 8th. But you never even know. Some of those teams need offensive line depth, and they need wide receivers. So that could also be another possibility of Isaiah Simmons falling all the way down there. So I don't know. There's multiple options for other teams. The Cardinals, I even saw a report today, they might go after DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, not they have DeAndre Hopkins. I might go after CeeDee Lamb or like Henry Ruggs or Jared Jeudy with one of their picks, even though they need help on offensive line. But I could see a couple offensive line falling in like the top 5, top 6, just to see people trade up, because I know there's 3 coveted tackles on the board right now. Josh Jones is also really good. He's probably going to fall to the second round. Yeah. So, yeah, alright, guys. So, sorry, I'm trying to look at some topics on Twitter that were recently discussed. But after this quick ad, I'll come right back to you guys with another report about the Atlanta Falcons trying to trade up and what they might have traded up for and with. Alright, guys, I'll be right back. Hey everyone, Zach here. Just a quick message from our sponsor before we get back to today's episode. Have you ever heard about Anchor? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Not only is it free, but there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Again, download the free Anchorship app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Personally, I think this app is amazing, and I've used it when I first got started in podcasts. Again, go to anchor.fm to get started. Now, alright guys, thanks for listening to that short ad, or in case you just skipped it. So now we're going to be talking about Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons, and how they try to trade up a lot of draft capital just to get Chase Young, which is a highly coveted draft pick. So The Atlanta Falcons currently have the number one 16th overall pick. Round 2, they have the 47th overall pick. Round 3, they have a 78th overall pick, and then they have 2 4th-round picks and a 7th. So there was a report yesterday from Jay Glazer, which is a reliable source. He said Falcons have been aggressive this week in calling teams high up, including trying to get all the way to number 2 on Chase Young. Washington hasn't seemed to entertain offers to get out at NFL on Fox. And then Jay Glazer made another tweet right after saying Falcons have history and moved up all the way for Julio Jones his year. They tried again. Chase Young, too highly regarded for Washington to trade away. So, honestly, I think no matter what you try to trade for Chase Young, you're not going to get anything. Unless you trade, like, something absolutely wild, like 3 years of picks, and they have to be like a couple first-round picks, a couple seconds. But even then, I think that's just not enough. Chase Young's just way too good, guys. But yeah, that's crazy. They're trying to trade Julio Jones. That's probably the most, besides Matt Ryan, that's probably the most highly coveted player in their franchise. So Julio Jones, you think about it, he's probably turning, I think he's 31. I'm not really sure. But he's getting up there in age. And I just don't see him like we need someone. We have a bunch of young talent. So we're going to be with these young guys for a couple more years. Yeah, he's 31. His birthday is coming up soon, February 8th. He'll be 32 by the time the season's like midway through. And I don't know. I just don't see him being a reliable player for that long of a period. He is a good player and everything. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, but for Chase Young, you're just going to give us a first-round pick and Julio Jones. I don't think that's going to work out. Chase Young's 21, I think, so he'll be with us. He'll be our franchise player. He's probably going to, if you think about it, as long as nothing happens during the season, he's going to be just like Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa. He's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year and be even better than them. Because people's right now, like NFL draft analysis, are giving Chase Young the highest amount of points you can get for being a prospect, higher than Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa have ever been. And they were generational talent. They weren't generational talent. They were just really, really good at their position. So I think that's something to look at, guys. Yeah, but Julio Jones, like I said, he needs to stay as an Atlanta Falcon. He's been there his whole entire NFL career, and he needs to retire there. So I don't think that's going to work out too well. There were people. Everything right now is basically Trent news. Everyone wants Trent off the books. Hopefully, this is going to be my last episode of talking about Trent, because if you guys didn't know, either today at like 9 o'clock at night, not 9 o'clock, like 11, I might post another podcast of my reaction to the draft and everything that went down. Even though it's basically just going to be my reaction about Chase Young, or I might just post a quick YouTube video of my reaction. But yeah. So 9 o'clock tonight, I might make another podcast, or early tomorrow morning, or even Friday night. I might make a podcast of just my reaction of the first and second round. Just let me know if you're watching on YouTube. Let me know in the comments, and also feel free to subscribe, guys, if you're still listening to this. Because, like I said, I'm a brand new spot. I'm on Spotify. I post on Twitter, and I have a YouTube channel. I'm brand new to this. And I really appreciate you guys listening. And if you have any suggestions or anything that you want me to talk about more, just let me know down in the comments, or hit me up on Twitter at twitter.com/aroundtheskins. But yeah, if we let me look at Julio Jones' stats. So 2018, he had 1,600 yards, 1,677 yards. He averaged 15 yards. 2019, it was a drop off of about 200-ish, 300-ish yards. 1,394, and he averaged the same amount, and he had less TDs, and his longest catch was less. But yeah, he's just getting up there in age. I don't think he's too reliable anymore. Also, side note, if you guys didn't see the new Madden 20 Madden 21 cover is going to be Lamar Jackson. That's just a fun thing I saw. I feel like every MVP, I don't know if they make it like that on purpose, but every MVP is always the cover of Madden. I don't think it's any other person, but I saw on Madden today, they're going to be a virtual draft or something like that. They're going to be doing it live on Madden 20. So if you guys have Madden 20, go check that out. That might be something cool. Yeah, but the Redskins are also doing a live, what's called virtual draft. There's going to be a lot of people there, or you never know. I'm not positive. You guys might have to go check out yourself. But I think Dwayne Haskins might show up. Other players, I'm not really sure of. But Darius Guts was in the building the other day, Redskins Park. I guess if you're injured, you're allowed to go to the Redskins Stadium, even though I think that's not safe. There's literally people with corona outside the stadium that they have in tents in quarantine. So I don't think that's pretty safe, but I don't know. Yeah, so basically that's pretty much it I wanted to talk about today, guys. This might be a little shorter podcast, and I'm sorry about that, but I just want to get out a quick podcast for you guys to let you know all the news that was going around. If there's Trent Williams news tonight, I'll definitely make a podcast just to my reaction to the first pick that we have in the draft. And maybe, who knows, we might get another first-round pick. So that's something to look forward to, guys. And so my perspective on this 2020 NFL draft, I think we're going to do really good. Next season, guys, it takes time to become to have a winning culture in a team that's going to be winning for a long time. So don't set your standards too high. That's what I'm just trying to say. Don't set your standards too high. You never know. Next year it might just be another rebuilding year, and then next free agency we're just going to go off and we're going to get a lot of players. But like I said, I think the Redskins, what they're doing right now under Ron Rivera and Dan Snyder, even though I think he's doing better, but I don't know. If I had a qualified owner, I'd probably trade him right now, or I probably wish he would sell the team. But Ron Rivera is doing really good. He's just taking it slow, one step at a time, and I think that's what we need from a head coach. And who knows, guys? We might never even get a general manager or Alex Smith. I think he's the head of player personnel or athletics. The head of athletics. I'm not really sure, but he's probably going to become the what I just said like 2 seconds ago. I can't think of general manager. So that's something to look forward to. All right, guys. Next podcast probably be an update. HGTR and Go Skins. See you guys on the next podcast.